Hello my dear children, welcome to my channel Sudhir Sir Chemistry. Today I am going to discuss Henry's law from class 12 solution chapter. Here we are going to discuss the solubility of a gas in the liquid. To understand this concept of Henry's law, what we should know, what is meant by mole fractions, what is the concentration of solution, and what is the concept of the fraction. Means let me explain you. First of all, to understand this concept, you should know what is meant by a mole fraction. This is the first concept. Then you have to understand what is the concept of the concentrations. So first I will discuss about what is a mole fraction. See here. But a mole fraction means, let us consider that I am having a solution. This is a solution. And this solution is made up of one or two components. Let us say it is made up of a component A, component B, component C. Three components are here. But a component means think that it is a solute, something salt, then we added some sugar, then we added some water. So this is a solution made up of a three component. That is a component A, B, C. And this solution contains 2 moles of A, it contains 3 moles of B, and it contains 4 moles of C. Now somebody, mole fraction is denoted as a X. This is a mole fraction denoted as X, and mole fraction does not have any units, unitless. Now if somebody will ask us what is a mole fraction of A in this solution. So mole fraction of A in this solution is nothing but the number of moles of A by total number of moles of all the component in the solution. What is the number of moles of A? We have 2. What is the total number of moles of all the component? We have number of moles of A is 2, number of moles of B is 3, number of moles of C is equal to 4. It become a 4 plus 3 is 7, 8, 9. 2 by 9 is a mole fraction of component A in the given solution. Same way, what is the mole fraction of component B? Same way, number of moles of B by total number of moles of all the component. Number of moles of B we are able to see it is a 3 and total number of moles is 9. Same way, mole fraction of C in the component is number of moles of C by total number of moles of all the component present in the solution. Number of moles of C is 4 by 9. And it is solved all these, sum of the mole fraction of all the component is equal to 1. See, mole fraction of A plus mole fraction of B plus mole fraction of C, that is equal to 1. Means the mole fraction of all the components should be equal to 1. This is a small concept of what? Mole fraction. Now I will explain you what is the concept of concentration of the solution. Just see here, because to understand this Henry's law, we should know what is a mole fraction, what is a concentration of the solution. The concentration of the solution means, just I want to show you by drawing small diagram here. Let us say beta here I am having flask. Let us say 2 flask is there, and this is a flask A, this is a flask B. It is having a water in it, because liquid, it is also having a water in it. This is a water present in it. Now I am going to dissolve the gas, and here also I am going to, sorry, but I am talking about the concentration, right? In this water I am going to add just 10 gram of sugar or 10 gram of salt, and in this case I am going to dissolve 20 gram of a salt. Now see here, the volume of water in both the cases I took as 100 ml. That is, the volume of a water is 100 ml. But in this 100 ml of water we are adding 10 gram of a salt, and in this 100 ml of water I am adding 20 gram of salt. So I should say this is a concentrated solution, because this solution contains more amount of solute than the previous one, and it will be called as a, that means we can say 10 gram of salt, I should call it as a dilute solution. So did you understand the meaning of a concentrated solution and dilute solution? Means it is a solution having a more amount of solute compared to others, and other solution is a dilute means it is having a less amount of solute than the other, right? Take a screenshot of this one. So now we can see here, concentrated solution, dilute solution means this solution having a more salt, but a more salt dissolved, and in this case we can say less salt dissolved. So wherever the more solute is dissolved called as a concentrated, and wherever less solute is dissolved called as a dilute solution. So more the solute dissolved, concentrated solution, and less the solute will be dissolved called as a dilute solution. Now till now you understood what is a mole fraction and what is a concentration. In mole fraction what we have seen, if you want to find out the mole fraction of any particular component in that solution, that means the number of moles of that component by total number of moles of all the component. What is meant by concentration? That means more the amount of solute dissolved in a given amount of solvent is called its concentration. Means more the amount of solute dissolved, higher concentration of the solution. Less the amount of solute dissolved, less the concentration of the solution. So till now we discussed two concepts. One is a mole fraction and second one is concentration, to understand Henry's law. And one more, the concept called as a pressure. Listen here, beta. To understand this Henry's law, this is the one more concept is there called as a pressure. We know pressure is F by A, force per unit area. Means I should say indirectly the pressure is nothing but the collision of gas molecules per unit area. That is also be called as a pressure. Means, you know, when these gas molecules are colliding to the wall of the surface, this as the molecules are colliding to the wall of the container, it exerts the pressure. Means more the collisions, more the pressure. So this is the concept. Pressure means collision of the gas molecule per unit area. Means indirectly we can say what is a pressure, how to find out the pressure. It is nothing but it is a collision of gas molecules per unit area is called as a pressure. That is P is equal to F by A. Means let us consider that greater the collisions of the gas molecule in per unit area, greater is the pressure. So indirectly we can say with the help of this formula, we can say now the pressure will be inversely proportional to A, that is area. Larger the area, less the pressure, and smaller the area, higher the pressure. So we can say now two more concept is that as the pressure is inversely proportional to area, we can say here smaller the area, larger the pressure. Or we can say larger the area, that is smaller the pressure. Means I am talking about these things. For example, I am having a two frictionless piston in a closed container. See, this is a closed vessel is there, and it is a frictionless piston is here, and here also it is having a frictionless piston. What did you saw, beta? It is having a larger area. And what is indicated? It is having a smaller area. And both these vessels are containing the gas molecules. It is having a gas molecule and it is also having a gas molecules. Now you tell me, as it is having a larger the area, less the collision. I should say larger the area, it will having a less collision. But what? Less collision of gas molecule per unit area, and smaller the area, it is having a more collision. But it is having a more collision of gas molecule in a per unit area. Now you can say more the collision of the gas molecule on per unit area, that means greater the pressure. So I should say more the collision, larger the pressure. More the collision, larger the pressure. Less the collision, smaller is the pressure. Smaller is the pressure. Are you able to see this part? Good. So this is a small concept of the pressure. What is in the pressure? Collision of a gas molecule per unit area. P is equal to F by P is inversely proportional to A. It indicates that pressure is nothing but the collision of gas molecule in a per unit area. Per unit area. Now, as we know, smaller the area, larger the pressure, larger the area, smaller the pressure. I want to show this thing by taking closed container containing gas molecule having frictionless piston. But in this one, see larger area, and in this one we are having smaller area. Smaller the area, more the gas molecule will collide per unit area. So more the collision, greater the pressure. Larger the area, less the collision of gas molecule in per unit area. That means less the collision, smaller the pressure. That means now we can say here, to understand the Henry's law, we are discussing the solubility of gas on the given liquid, that is called as a Henry's law. So I am first to take note down this one. I will give the statement of Henry's law, and with the help of all these three concepts, mole fraction, concentration and pressure, I am going to explain you the exact definition statement given by Henry's law and its application. Please note down this one. Now Henry concluded that, what is that? The solubility of a gas. But he concluded that solubility of gas in a liquid is directly proportional to partial pressure of a gas on liquid surface. Means as we know, smaller the area, greater the collision, more the amount of gas can be soluble. That only I said, now P is inversely proportional to A. Smaller the area, more the collision, that is a more. The collision is nothing but the more the amount of the gas can be soluble. So solubility of gas directly proportional to partial pressure or directly proportional to pressure. Higher the pressure, higher the collision, more the amount of gas can be soluble. So solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to what? Partial pressure of gas on liquid surface. Means example, I am having, this is a liquid, and on the surface of the liquid we are having some gas. Let us say gas A is there, gas B is there, gas C is there. But partial pressure of this gas is given as a 0.1, partial pressure of this gas is given as a 0.2, partial pressure of gas C is given as a 0.4. Now you can see among these three gases, which is having a more partial pressure? C is having a more partial pressure. Means gas C will be more soluble in the liquid, because solubility of gas in the liquid, I wrote better, solubility of gas in the liquid is directly proportional to what? Partial pressure of the gas on the liquid surface. See, on this liquid surface we are having so many gases, but among that the gas which is having a higher partial pressure can be soluble. So now he has given the statement. What is that? Henry law. It states that, I should say beta, it states that solubility of gas, solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure, directly proportional to partial pressure of gas on liquid surface. I told you greater the partial pressure of the gas on the liquid surface, more the amount of the gas can be soluble in the liquid. Henry's law is nothing but the solubility of gas in the liquid, that only we are discussing here. So solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas on the liquid surface. Means we can say partial pressure of gas is directly proportional to solubility of gas. Is it clear, beta? Partial pressure of a gas on the surface of liquid is directly proportional to solubility of gas in the liquid. Shall I write? Partial pressure of gas where on surface of liquid is directly proportional to solubility of gas in the liquid. That means we can say P. And do you know solubility of gas is nothing but it is a solubility of gas is nothing but it is a measurable properties of mole fraction. If you don't know, please remember solubility of gas is nothing but it is a measurable properties of mole fraction. But measurable properties of mole fraction means indirectly now I can say beta partial pressure of gas 0.1 means we can say mole fraction of gas is 0.1, because you know partial pressure of any component is equal to total pressure of the gas beta into mole fraction of that gas. So this partial pressure is nothing but it is a measurable properties of mole fraction, and you know mole fraction denoted as a x. So it is a measurable properties of mole fraction. So I will write now partial pressure is directly proportional to, instead of solubility, can we say that it is a mole fraction of gas, and this partial pressure of gas is equal to constant Kh into mole fraction of gas. What is this Kh indicate? But Kh is nothing but it is a Henry's constant. But it is a Henry's constant, and it depends on the nature of the solute, it depends on the nature of solvent, factor of fitting it, that part we'll see later on. So we got the formula that partial pressure of the gas on the surface of liquid is equal to product of mole fraction into mole fraction of gas. This is the Henry's law. Take a statement, but I will explain you separately Henry's law, what are the factors affecting the Henry's law, Kh, where it depends and where it is independent, what is the limitation of that one, and numerical based on the Kh we will see in the next. Just you take a screenshot of this one. I will continue on the other part. But now as we came to know that partial pressure of the gas is equal to Kh into mole fraction of gas. What the Kh? This is a Henry's constant. This is a Henry's constant. But what is the Henry's constant means we can say about the Kh. This is the formula we got the Henry's law. So this Kh is there, Kh, it depends on, nature of solute and solvent. But if the solvent changes, value of Kh changes. Or we can say if the solute changes, value of Kh changes. Let me explain you one simple example for this one, how it depends on the nature of solute and solvent. Let us say beta Kh is a Henry's constant, and this Henry's constant for hydrogen gas in particular solvent. Let us say solvent is water, its value is 71.18 at 298 Kelvin. See beta at constant temperature. Again I can say Henry's law constant Kh for the same gas, that is solute is same, but now solvent is going to change. See beta, instead of water I am using benzene, and this value of Kh for hydrogen gas in the benzene is 3.67, that to be at the same temperature. So one point was clear that Kh is depend on what? Nature of solute as well as the nature of solvent. But another one, this formula is there. We can write the formula in the form of this way: P is equal to Kh into mole fraction of the gas. And we know that when a mole fraction of the gas does not have any unit, means it is the unitless. So we can say P is equal to Kh. So what is the unit of Kh? But a unit of Kh is nothing but the P. And you know what is unit of pressure? Either it is in atm or it is in bar. So units of Kh, either it is in atm or it is in the bar. This is the second important term, that is the unit of Kh. First one depend on nature of solute and solvent. Second one unit of Kh, and third one. But this formula which one we wrote, P is equal to Kh into mole fraction of the gas, we can say mole fraction of the gas is equal to partial pressure by kH. From this formula we understood that, as I said you beta, mole fraction is nothing but the measurable properties of solubility of gas. So we can say now this mole fraction of the gas is inversely proportional to kH. But as it is inversely proportional to kH means we can say as the kH value increases, mole fraction of the gas decreases. But a mole fraction of the gas is nothing but we can say solubility of the gas, and hence the solubility of the gas also decreases by increasing kH. Means kH is inversely proportional to mole fraction of the gas. Mole fraction of the gas is also be called as a solubility of the gas, that is also inversely proportional to kH. Means now we can say higher the kH less the mole fraction, higher the kH less the solubility. Are you getting me? So kH is inversely proportional to mole fraction, and mole fraction is the measurable properties of solubility of gas. So as the kH increases, mole fraction of the gas decreases, that means solubility of the gas in the liquid decreases. And one more point beta, kH will be directly proportional to temperature. As the kH increases, temperature also increases. Please take a note and write that temperature part on the other side. Now as we wrote beta, kH is inversely proportional to mole fraction, kH is inversely proportional to solubility. And one more point remember here, kH is directly proportional to temperature. That means we can say as the temperature increases, kH increases. As the kH increases, mole fraction of the gas decreases, and the solubility of gas also decreases. But one simple question is there. Question is given, which of the following gas is more soluble? But which of the following gas is more soluble at constant temperature? Let us say 298 Kelvin. But three gases was given: hydrogen gas, carbon dioxide gas, and nitrogen gas. But three gases are given. Let us say these are the gas: hydrogen, carbon dioxide. But instead of nitrogen, we take the methane. It is given in our NCERT. And the kH value of the gas is given at 298 Kelvin because temperature is same. For hydrogen it is a 71.18. For carbon dioxide it is a 1.67. And for this methane gas, the value of kH of the methane at 298 Kelvin become 41.85. Now they are asking which of the following gas is more soluble at 298 Kelvin. See beta, the term solubility came and kH is there. Just you see here how the solubility and kH are related inversely. And as we know, solubility of the gas is inversely proportional to kH. And they are asking more soluble, that means more the soluble less the kH. Find out, this is the answer. So I should say here CO2 gas is more soluble, but it is a more soluble at 298 Kelvin compared to H2 and CH4 gas. Is it clear? Take a screenshot. But now these are the some question based on the Henry's law. Question is given, see, if the solubility of any gas in the liquid is 0.05 mole per liter, what will be its solubility at 3 bar pressure? Right, but solubility of gas in the liquid is this much mole per liter. What will be its solubility at 3 bar pressure? These are the 4 options was given. Try it by yourself. But here one term is missing. See, solubility of gas in the liquid at 1 bar pressure is 0.05. Then what will be the solubility at 3 bar? But you know Henry's law constant. P is equal to kH into mole fraction of the gas. In the first case, pressure is 1 bar, that is equal to kH into what is the mole fraction is given 0.05. mole per liter. This is my equation 1. What will be the solubility at 3 bar pressure? 3. It is equal to kH. And do you know what a solubility is? Nothing but the measurable properties of mole fraction of the gas. So this is a mole fraction of the gas. Right? That means divide the equation 1 by 2. But on dividing equation 1 by 2, 1 is equal to kH into 0.05 mole per liter by 3 kH into mole fraction of the gas. kH and kH get cancelled, mole fraction goes here. And you know mole fraction is nothing but the measurable properties of the gas. That is the solubility is the measurable property is the mole fraction. So it is equal to 0.05 into 3 become a 0.15, that much mole per liter. I think your option is second option is correct. Right? Please note down this one. Now let us see, this is the question given here. Which gas is more soluble in water? See, as we are learning the Henry's law, we are under the concept of dissolving the gases, solubility of a gases in the liquid. And the question we got here, among the following which gas is more soluble in water? Here pressure is not given, kH value is not mentioned, because as we know beta, kH will be inversely proportional to mole fraction, inversely proportional to solubility, but directly proportional to temperature. kH is not there, temperature is not there, nothing is given. So in such a case, instead of using the Henry's law, we have to use the concept of hydrogen bonding. And beta, what is the concept of hydrogen bonding? If you don't know this topic, please you can see in my video, first year videos was there. You can type in the YouTube, hydrogen bonding by Sudhir sir chemistry classes, it was there. But the concept of hydrogen bonding is that if any compound which has a tendency, to form hydrogen bond, that means obviously it will be soluble in the water. And do you know beta, which compound has a tendency to form hydrogen bond? Hydrogen, it should be bonded with the highly electronegative atom like a phone. What is a phone? H should be bonded with F, H should be bonded with A, what you can say O, H should be bonded with the N. And you know hydrogen bonding can be seen, you can see in the NCERT, water molecule can form hydrogen bond, ammonia molecule can form hydrogen bond, HF molecule can form hydrogen bond. What is the intramolecular hydrogen bond? I think among these three you are able to see this one of the compound, that is ammonia. So I should say, as the ammonia has a tendency to form hydrogen bond, ammonia will be soluble in the water compared to remaining three gases. Okay, take it out. But now we will see in the Henry's law, what is the limitations of the Henry's law and what are the applications. You can see here, Henry's law limitation means pressure is not very high. If the pressure is very high, Henry's laws cannot be applicable there. Temperature is not very low. Gas not highly soluble. If anything, gas is going to, more the gas is going to be soluble, Henry's law is not applicable there. But a gas do not form any compound with the solvent. If the gas is combining with the solvent and forming some compound there, Henry's law cannot be applicable. And gas does not undergo any dissociation. So these are the limitations of the Henry's law. Come for the application of Henry's law. To increase solubility of CO2 in soft drink and soda water, the bottle is sealed under high pressure. Means the bottle, if you are sealing it to the high pressure, then there we can increase the solubility of CO2 in the soda water or in the soft drink. So to increase the solubility of CO2 in soft drink and soda water, the bottle is sealed under high pressure. Then second application, sea divers use air diluted, because you know the sea divers, when they will go under the water, they are having the cylinders over there. In that one the air will be there. That air should be diluted with what beta? Helium, nitrogen and oxygen. Why? To avoid the condition known as bend. Bend means if they are taking only this oxygen cylinder and they will go under the water, and in that one it will have the oxygen, means it will, the air which is taking in the cylinder, that air will have nitrogen as well as oxygen. And when they go under the depth of the sea, what will happen? Due to high pressure, that nitrogen gas in the air, it will combine with the blood. And when this person, sea diver, will come on the surface of the water, on the surface of the water, pressure is very less. So pressure is very less means what happen, already inside the water, that N2 gas get dissolved into the blood, and when they come on the surface of the water, from their sea divers, from the nose, from the ears, from the eyes, blood will come on. Why? Because that nitrogen which is mixing with the blood, that gas is coming out through the holes of the body, and that gas, it is already mixed with the blood, so blood is going to come. That condition will be called as a bend. So to avoid that situation, sea divers, what they are using, the air should be diluted with all, what? Helium, nitrogen, oxygen. Why? To avoid the condition known as a bend. And third application, at high altitudes, when partial pressure of oxygen is very less, so it leads to the condition known as anoxia. But anoxia means forgetting. Frequently we are forgetting something, because at the high altitude the content of the oxygen in the air will be very less, and due to that the person is suffering from that, the forgetting things, and that condition will be called as what? Anoxia. So what to say, at high altitude when partial pressure of oxygen is very less, it will lead to the condition known as a anoxia. These are the applications. Okay, take a screenshot of this one. Now these are the questions which one I give here. This kind of the question they are asking in IIT mains level. Even this question they are asking in what we can see in the NEET level also. Because to get the answer, see, we are having all the options nearby same. 4 into 10 power of minus 5 minus 4. 4 into 10 to the power of plus 5, 10 to the power of 4. So we have to solve this question if we know the concept. See beta, they have given Henry's constant for the solubility of N2 gas in the water. Means the first one what they gave, it is a KH value for nitrogen gas dissolved into the water at 298 Kelvin. See beta, at 298 Kelvin is 1 into 10 to the power of 5 atm. But sometimes they required the conversion of the pressure also. Please remember, 1 atm is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. If they are asking the unit in Pascal, we have to convert it or else leave it. So first part they gave Henry's constant, I wrote here. They are asking number of moles of N2 from the air. But you have to find out number of moles of N2. This is from the air, and that should be dissolved in 10 moles of the water. Means you have to find out the number of moles of the nitrogen from the air dissolved in the water. And see, air dissolved in 10 moles of water at 298 Kelvin and 5 atmospheric pressure. But this 5 atmospheric pressure is nothing but it is a total pressure of the gas, or total pressure of the gas in air, because we know the air contains nitrogen, oxygen gas and all. So this total pressure is given here as a 5 atm, that is 5 atmospheric pressure. And he gave mole fraction of nitrogen in air also. See, if we are thinking that directly we can use the pressure is equal to kh into mole fraction of the gas and substitute the value of kh here. Got the point? And we'll substitute the value of P pressure here. We'll get the mole fraction of the gas. No, but it is wrong. Why? It is a mole fraction of a gas in liquid, and it is a pressure of the gas above the surface of the liquid. I said you, of the surface of the liquid. But they are asking here, it is a pressure of the gas on the surface of the liquid. Higher the pressure of the gas on the surface of liquid, greater is the mole fraction of the gas in the liquid. And now we have to find out how much number of moles of that N2 from the air dissolved in a 10 moles of the water. So by using this formula, what we will do, we should know what is the partial pressure of the gas above the surface of liquid. I will find out these ones. See how. Let us say this is a vessel. It is having a liquid. On this liquid I am having some gas. Oxygen gas is there, nitrogen gas and some other gas. They have given what they have given? They are asking the total pressure of the gas, means the partial pressure of the O2 plus partial pressure of the N2, beta, it is equal to total pressure of the gas, and they give 518 is a total pressure. Beta, what we want the partial pressure of the nitrogen. And do you know formula is there for partial pressure? Beta, what is the formula for partial pressure? See here, partial pressure of any gas, let us say I am finding nitrogen gas, beta, it is equal to total pressure of the gas into mole fraction of that gas. See, once again I will tell you, beta, it is a beaker having a liquid. On the liquid surface we are having one nitrogen gas. They didn't mention anywhere oxygen, but think that oxygen gas is there because air contains nitrogen and oxygen. And sum of the partial pressure, this is a partial pressure of oxygen, this is a partial pressure of nitrogen, but the sum of these two partial pressure is the total pressure. But in the question we are having, this is a total pressure of the gas. I want partial pressure. See beta, formula, partial pressure of any gas is equal to total pressure of the gas into mole fraction of the gas. Now beta, total pressure we are having 5 atm and mole fraction of the gas we are having, see beta, mole fraction of N2 in the air 0.8, they already mentioned. That means it become by 10, 40 by 10, partial pressure of N2 I am getting 4 atm. But in this formula, see this is the formula, I am going to get now partial pressure of nitrogen is 4 atm beta. Now I will use this formula here. See, partial pressure of nitrogen above the surface of the liquid, above liquid surface, is equal to kH of nitrogen into partial pressure of nitrogen, or they can say number of moles of nitrogen, yeah, partial, that is mole fraction of nitrogen in the air. So what is the partial pressure of nitrogen? We got 4 atm. It is equal to, what is the value of kH? We have 1 into 10 to the power of 5 atm. But these atm and these both atm, it get cancelled into mole fraction of nitrogen. So what is the value we are getting beta? Mole fraction of nitrogen in the air is equal to 4 by 10 to the power of 5. But 10 to the power of 5 comes on the denominator. When it goes on the numerator, become 10 to the power of minus 5. But it is a mole fraction of nitrogen. And you know formula, mole fraction of any component is equal to number of moles of that component by total number of moles of all the component. But you will say, sir, all the component means what? In this question, see, everywhere you are finding nitrogen gas and we are finding the water. So number of moles of the nitrogen by total number of moles of all the component is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. And do you know beta, in the denominator, number of moles of nitrogen is very less than number of moles of water. Hence number of moles of nitrogen is neglected from the denominator. So I'll get the formula, number of moles of nitrogen by number of moles of water, it is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Now beta, I want to find out number of moles of nitrogen, but 10 moles of water is given. So number of moles of water is given. We can now write number of moles of nitrogen by 10 is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. And now you solve it, but a place is not there. I will do one thing. Somewhere I will write here. Just a minute. See, with a mole fraction of nitrogen is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Number of moles of nitrogen by total number of moles of all the component is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. But a number of moles of these, number of moles of the nitrogen will be neglected, because as we know that number of moles of nitrogen will be very less than number of moles of water. So number of moles of N2 is neglected from the denominator. Then it is neglected, I am having number of moles of N2 by number of moles of H2O. It is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Number of moles of N2 by number of moles of water, we are having how many? 10 moles of water. So by 10, it is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5. and you can solve it. Now number of moles of nitrogen is equal to 10 times of this one. So what I'll get, 4 into 10 into 10 to the power of minus 5 become 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4. This is a number of moles of nitrogen dissolved in 10 mole of water at 298 Kelvin at total pressure of 5 atm. So where is the answer beta? 4 into 10 power of minus 4 mole. 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 mole is the second option, is a correct answer. So did you understand what they asked beta? They are asking to find out the number of moles of N2 from the air. Means from the air means first you have to find out beta partial pressure of nitrogen in the air. How to find out? Partial pressure of nitrogen in the air equal to total pressure into mole fraction. Total pressure we are having, mole fraction of N2 in air we are having. We got the partial pressure. But a partial pressure may put the value of partial pressure. KH we know. Get the mole fraction of N2 in the air. But once we got the mole fraction of N2 in the air, formula number of moles of N2 by total number of moles of the component, and by solving we are able to get number of moles of nitrogen dissolved in a 10 moles of the water is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Second option is correct. Right? Take a screenshot of this one. Practice better. This kind of question you have to practice. But this is a very simple question based on the Henry's law. Very simple. See here. Composition of air is approximately 80% of nitrogen and 20% of oxygen. Means composition of air is given like this. We can say beta total pressure is equal to partial pressure of oxygen plus partial pressure of nitrogen. But if oxygen is 20% means can we say it is a 0.2 partial pressure? PP beta partial pressure, PP partial pressure, and nitrogen is 80% means 0.8 and total pressure become 1 atm. With the statement I gave, they are asking mole fraction of O2 in water. See beta, they are asking what is the mole fraction of this gas O2 gas in the liquid water at 1 atm. Pressure is given and KH is also given. So and these are the four options they have mentioned. See, we'll do better here. As we know, partial pressure of the gas is equal to KH of that gas into mole fraction of this gas in the liquid water. See, but KH is it is a Henry's law constant for oxygen gas they give, because they are asking mole fraction of oxygen. Means it is a value of KH for oxygen is given 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 5. 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per atm into, but a mole fraction of O2 gas in the water. See, mole fraction of O2 gas in the water you have to find out, and partial pressure of O2 gas. From this one we got partial pressure of O2 gas, that is what beta 0.2 atm. Is it clear beta? Atmospheric pressure we can say. Now what will get 0.2 by 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 5 is equal to mole fraction of O2. Is it clear beta? It should be atm. It should be atm, and this is also what beta atm. ATM and ATM get cancelled. I am getting mole fraction of O2 gas, and you can solve it beta. Mole fraction of O2 gas equal to point and point get cancelled. 2 by 18 means 1 by 9. But at 10 to the power of minus 5 it is on denominator, comes on the numerator 10 to the power of 5. But a 1 by 9 approximately 0.111 into 10 to the power of 5. It can be written as 1 into 10 to the power of 4 is a mole fraction of O2 gas in liquid water. 1 into 10 to the power of 4, option 1 is correct. Is it clear beta? Option 1 is correct. That is a mole fraction of O2 gas in water, 1 into 10 to the power of 4. Please take a note of this one. But this is a question given here. Same based on the Henry's law. H2S is a toxic gas with rotten egg-like smell, and it is used for qualitative analysis. If the solubility of H2S in water at STP is this much molal, 0.195 molal, but it is a term called as a molality. calculate the Henry's law constant. So we can use the formula here. Partial pressure of the gas over the surface of liquid equal to mole fraction of that gas into, Henry's law constant into mole fraction of that gas in the liquid. They are asking to get the KH. So I should write what Henry's law constant is equal to what? Partial pressure of the gas by mole fraction of the gas in the surface of liquid. But you can see partial pressure and mole fraction, nothing is given here. They have given only solubility of gas in the water is this much molal. But this term is there, 0.195 molal means what? 0.195 mole, but it is a molality of which gas? H2S, na? So I can say 0.195 mole of H2S gas, it is dissolved in, but a molality, it is a number of moles present in a 1 kg of the solvent. So dissolved in 1 kg means, can we write 1000 gram? 1 kg means 1000 gram of solvent. And do you know what is the solvent is here? Water is the solvent. But water is the solvent. Means now, and at STP, but a condition is there, at STP, the pressure of the gas is taken as a 1 atm. And do you know what a 1 atm is? 0.987 bar. It is a pressure, because you can see the unit is given in the bar, so I should take the pressure also is in the bar. 0.987 bar means at STP 1 atmospheric pressure equal to this much bar, or it is equal to 76 centimeter of Hg, or it is equal to 760 mm of Hg. That is unit of pressure. So as they are taken in the bar, I should take only these values. 0.987 bar is the pressure of the gas. So this is the pressure of the gas, 0.987 bar, I got it. By mole fraction of the gas. See beta, if you want to find the mole fraction of gas, which gas? H2S gas. So do you know formula? Mole fraction of any component is equal to number of moles of that component by total number of moles of all the component present on it. As the solution is dilute, what I should say, the number of moles of the component, that is H2S, will be very less than number of moles of water, so it should be neglected. Number of moles, or they didn't mention any dilute and all. See beta, so directly we can use here number of moles of H2S. What is the number of moles? 0.195 mole. So number of moles of H2S is 0.195 mole by 0.195 plus, but a number of moles of water, can we find out? Number of moles of water is equal to weight of the water. 1000 gram of water is the weight of water by molecular weight of water become 55.55 mole. So number of moles of water is 55.55, and you can solve it at this one by solving 0.195 divided by number of moles of H2S, 0.195 plus 55.55. I am getting the answer 0.0035 by solving this one directly. 0.0035, got it? And this value I am going to substitute here. See beta, 0.0035, and by solving we are getting here KH is equal to, value we are getting here as a somewhat 282 bar is the Henry's law constant. Right beta, option number 3 is correct here. Means what we did beta, 0.195 molal means that much mole of the solute dissolved in 1 kg of solvent, means number of moles of H2S I got, but a number of moles of H2S we got 0.195, number of moles of water we got, weight by gram molecular weight, but a weight by gram molecular weight, and now mole fraction of H2S equal to number of moles of H2S by total number of moles of the component solid, and substitute these value of mole fraction of H2S in this above equation, where we are able to get the partial pressure, where we are able to get the Henry's law constant, that is third option, 282 bar. Please take a screenshot. But here some questions are there based on the Henry's law. You can see here the first question which one I give here, we have given partial pressure of gas in vapor phase. Partial pressure of gas in vapor phase is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas. I think you remember better. Greater the partial pressure of the gas on the surface of liquid, that gas will be more soluble into the liquid. So partial pressure of gas in the vapor phase is proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution given by which law? I think you are able to identify Raoult's law, no. Oswald distribution, Henry's, yes. Answer is what beta? Fourth option, Henry's law. Come for the second question now. Second one, four gases, hydrogen, helium, beta it is a hydrogen gas, this is a helium gas, this is a methane gas, and this is a CO2 gas. Four gases are there. They have Henry's constant for that. But a hydrogen Henry's constant is 69.16, helium is 144.97, methane is 0.413, and CO2 is here this one 1.67. That is the value of KH. They are asking the gas which is more soluble. I think you remember beta. Solubility of the gas means mole fraction of the gas, or solubility of the gas is inversely proportional to Henry's constant. Henry's constant less the Henry's value, less the KH value, greater the solubility. So I should say less the KH value 1, 2, 3, 4, this one third, 1, 2, third, methane. So answer should come as a methane, because methane is having less KH value, lesser the KH, more the solubility of the gas in the given liquid. Third one, solubility of gas in the liquid increases with what? But you remember, as we know, solubility of the gas is inversely proportional to KH, or we can say KH is directly proportional to temperature. That means we can say this solubility of the gas is inversely proportional to temperature. They are asking solubility of a gas in the liquid increases, means temperature should be decreases. Increase of temperature, no. Decrease in temperature, option 3 is correct. How many gram of CO2 gas is dissolved in 1 liter of bottle of carbonated water if the manufacturer uses pressure of 2.4 atm in the bottling process at 25 degrees centigrade, where KH of CO2 in the water is given? Four options are here, but we can use directly. Partial pressure of the gas in the surface of liquid is equal to KH of the gas in the liquid into mole fraction of that particular gas. But a partial pressure of gas means already they gave the pressure of the gas 2.4 atm, KH is 29.76 atm into mole fraction of the gas. But by solving, mole fraction of CO2 is equal to 2.4 by 29.76. By solving 0.08 mole will get. That is the mole fraction of CO2. They are asking amount of CO2. But this mole fraction of CO2 can be considered as concentration of CO2, and concentration of CO2 taken as a number of moles of CO2, 0.08 mole. And do you know number of moles of CO2 is nothing but the weight of CO2 by gram molecular weight of CO2. But what is the weight of CO2? That we have to find out. It is equal to number of moles into gram molecular weight of CO2 is 44. By solving, I am getting 3.52 is the weight of CO2 get dissolved. Weight of CO2 get dissolved. Option 1 is correct. Right? Take a screenshot of this one. But I have covered maximum all the questions from the Henry's law. Either it is a NEET level, or it is a MSET level, or it is a IIT mains level. All the level I have covered. But if still you are having any doubt, you can post me or you can send me the question which one you are unable to get. I'll try to make that video separately. And in the next video, I'll try to make Henry's law. What is the advanced level question they can ask in the Henry's law? That part I will do in separately, right? But if you like my video, please share it, subscribe it, and like it. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.